takes hard work to survive.
Augusta 24 to Freeman 1. You copy?
Ain't nobody pushing the seed through the soil, is there?
No, ma'am.
Are there any others like us?
Ain't nobody else out there like us.
Freeman 1, you copy?
They don't need nothing and nobody. Reload. You work now, rest when you're dead. Dead, come on.
Augusta 24 to Freeman 1. You copy?
Afternoon, Augusta.
You've heard about the attacks by now?
Thought your Union Army was gonna come and take care of it.
They're not. They're dead. All of them.
We could have left. People forget what animals were like.
But what matters now is how we react. Shoot first, don't ask questions. We ain't waiting on no revenge. They gonna end up dead anyway.
Stop right there!
Need help? Please! All we need is right here.
You want us to trust anyone?
Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai, and the honors to the apostles and others, great Muslim, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother, I'm no Allah, from GMS Chicago, and this is going to be a response video to the movie 40 Acres that has not been released too long ago, but yeah, I just watched this last night, and basically what this movie was going into is that you got Haley Freeman, that's what you're hearing on the description. It says, Haley Freeman, Daniel Deadwyler, and her family are the last descendants of so-called African-American farmers who settled in rural Canada after the First Civil War. In a famine-decimated near future, they now struggle to safeguard their farm against those hell-bent on taking their 40 acres. And in this movie, alright, it shows you the true nature of Esau, alright? And of course, it's taken in the time of, Jacob's trouble, right? All hell broke loose, alright? They're protecting their farmland, but here, you got Esau, alright, acting like a beast. And you got Esau, right? They're like their meat raw, alright? They'll eat the nastiest shit. Or Esau, alright? Basically, what in that movie it shows you the baseline nature of how Esau was, alright? Genesis 3:14, and the Lord said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shall thou go, and the dust shall thou eat all the days of thy life. And that's how Esau is, right? Esau is basically he's the wild man. Alright, he's the wild man. Alright, he basically has that beastly nature. Right? And then in this movie, alright, 40 Acres, they show you that Esau goes cannibalistic. Alright? They start consuming people's flesh. And this one particular scene where they pin down the Gadite, and here you got Esau is munching on the Gadite's arm. Alright? But yeah, in this movie, it shows you that Jake, alright, the northern and the southern kingdom were together. Alright, it shows you that this movie basically shows you that Esau really does know who we are. Alright? And Esau knows that you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of, all right, according to the curses that we fit in the scriptures. Ezekiel 37 and 16. It says, "Moreover, thou son of man, take thee," I'm going to start at 15, "the reunion of Judah and Israel. And the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for his children of Israel, his companions, and then take another stick and write it upon it for Joseph and the stick of Ephraim." All right, the stick of Ephraim. Right, goes into the northern kingdom, right? These so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Issacharites, all right, the Asherites, the Zebulonites, Ephraim, of course, and Reuben, right, Gad. And yeah, basically the northern kingdom. But it says, "Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for his children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions." All right, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the main characters in this movie basically shows you that, right? You got Judah, all right, mingled with Gad, all right, which basically pretty much shows you that what Esau was showing us in this movie is that that they know who we are, right? They know that we are the Lord's chosen people. And on top of that, Esau knows that there's going to be an elect that's going to be taken care of by Yahweh B'Shem, Yahushua in that day, in the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, because all these other people, all right, that are not in the truth, that are not of the elect, all right, they're going to catch hell. All right, even the elect, they're going to catch hell, but they're gonna be the ones that are gonna make it out. That they're gonna be the ones that are going to be delivered out of it. And the movie isn't that as horrific, but it goes to show you that the time that we're about to come into is going to be way more horrific than what we're seeing in that movie, all right? And it's the time of Jacob's trouble, a time like no other that we're coming into. But anyways, there's Acts chapter 14 verse 22. It says, "Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem, Yahushua." All right, it says through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God. And yeah, the elect, all right, we're gonna go through much tribulation, and we already are, all right, through these many trials and tribulations that we're going through right now. All right, but that is only to strengthen us. All right, and then the only ones that are going to be taken care of in that day, which is fastly approaching. All right. I just got enough scripture to back that up. But here's Psalms 91 and 1. "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." And that secret place is going into that, in this, being this truth. All right. "I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence, and he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His shield, his truth, and his shall be thy his truth shall be thy shield and buckler, and thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. And this this truth, all right, which is this this word, all right, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures is going to be our stability of the times that we're coming into. All right, say thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by the day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And we're gonna see a lot of death in the time that we're coming into, and that's what shows you in that movie. You got in that movie many scenes that shows you that a lot of killings, basically a lot of murders. All right, people attacking each other, all right, for farmland. All right, people defending themselves, people raiding into each other's territory, all right, just to take their resources and kill and consume other individuals. But it says, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, but because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. And that's right. Those of the elect, all right, no evil is going to befall on the Lord's elect. And here we see, Esau is gearing up, right? He's getting ready to come down with great wrath. All right, he's about to declare martial law. Here's Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And that's what Esau's getting ready to do. All right. He's about to come in like a flood, and mainly, what he really wants is, those that are in this truth, right, the elect. But it says, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So, in that day, all right, when Esau comes down with great wrath and he comes for the Lord's elect, the Lord is going to make sure that Esau doesn't get to his elect, all right? The Lord is going to take care of his elect in time of Jacob's trouble, all right, which we're seeing the build-up to the time of Jacob's trouble right now. But nonetheless, this movie is very well, recommended to watch. All right, it's a very interesting movie, especially how they put Jake as the main characters. All right, Northern Kingdom and in the Southern Kingdom. All right, with here you got seems to be Judah, all right, and Gad, all right, dwelling together, all right, trying to survive, all right, from all these different marauders, right, that are trying to invade the farmland. And this movie goes to show you that that we are those Israelites, all right. And just by Esau making this movie too, right? Because Esau, he owns the movie industry. He basically owns everything basically. All right, he knows that we are the so-called Slaki. He knows that we are the true Hebrew Israelites the Bible speaks of. All right, and he knows that a remnant is going to be saved, all right, out of the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. We hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, and Shalom.